Hey everyone, it's Lisa, and today is Thursday already, and I haven't seen you this week. I'm sorry. John has been off this week, and we've been doing all that kind of stuff, that you do before the kids start school. Matter of fact, today we have both the middle school and the elementary school orientations. So, and we shipped this morning, and I've got to go to the post office, but Daily Cupcake sent me a tag. It's my first time YouTube tag, and I thought that would be something good I could do that would be fun. And just with everything going on around here, I can't do like a tutorial or anything, so I'm gonna do this. And okay, so I printed it off, and it is so tiny, so I hope that I can read all of these, and I have not even read through the questions. So and let's see. Do you still talk to your first love? No. I guess, like, I have the first love from junior high and high school, and I don't talk to either one, but they do still live here in town. Okay, what was your first alcoholic drink? Well, see, that's kind of tough because my dad used to always have like just a drink, usually it was a Greyhound, a vodka and grapefruit, or a vodka and orange juice. He'd have one or two when he got home. And, I was curious and everything, and he let me have a sip of one. And of course I didn't like it, and that was probably why he did that. Bubba is chewing on I just got two awesome boxes from Saks. But anyway, Bubba, please. Goodness, they cannot stand it. But anyway, so that was like my very first drink. And then the second one is kind of a sad story. When I was in the summer between 8th and 9th grade, I went to a party, and the parents had made, it was one of those parties where it was like all a bunch of kids and some parents there. And the parents had made, it was in the winter time. No, it couldn't have been in the winter time because I remember it was in the summer. But they had made like a hot apple cider type drink. And it was like spiked, and I didn't know it. And I can remember that was the first time that I had ever like felt it or whatever, which is still sad to me that happened. But anyway, nothing bad happened or anything. I'm sure my mom was like right on the scene picking me up on time. But so that was the first thing. And then I think in high school, like, I had my first like beer or something, but I'm not a drinker. I've always hated beer and most everything else. If I drink anything, it's usually a strawberry margarita. That's my favorite. Margaritas in general. Okay, my first job. I was just babysitter extraordinaire. My parents would not let me get a job in high school, which in hindsight was very smart because they always knew where I was. And I know, when teenagers get jobs, that's when they can kind of get away from you a little bit. And so I could only go out one night a weekend. I had to pick a night, and I usually babysat on the other, and that was my only money that I had. And then my first job after that was waitressing at a fancy, not really a retirement home. It's like one of those places where older people go, and they live on their own, but it was like 5-star dining. And first I started as a server assistant, and then I got to be a server, but it was really fancy. Like, I know how to set a perfect table. I know how to serve from the left or move from the right. And they didn't have a menu. We had to give like a presentation of the menu for each night. And it was just really good food. A chef, just gourmet desserts. It was a good place. And so from then on is where I got into waitressing. And so I waitressed, gosh, years and years and years. I worked at the same restaurant for I think 7 years or so. So there's that. Who was the first person to text you today? I think that was one of my subscribers, Karen Peep Jr. texted me today. She was asking me about my contacts. Let's see. Who is the first person you thought of this morning? Gosh, well, person would probably be John, because I woke up and I remember thinking, I looked over that he was still sleeping, and then Bridget has started sleeping with us. Ever since we had the air condition go out and we all slept in our bedroom, Bridget slept with us, and now she's been sleeping with us. So I always, before Bridget can even get off the bed, pick her up and take her outside. So it was John and Bridget, and then I let the cats out from upstairs, downstairs, and then Will and Brooke. Will got up first. Okay, who was your first grade teacher? That was Miss Walker, Linda Walker. Where did you go for your first ride on an airplane? The first time, hold on, my kids' pizza is ready. I got the pizza out. They love to eat those, just in case you're curious. We like the square ones, the brick oven pizzas. And so I fixed them one of those for lunch. We're going to go out to eat after the orientation tonight. So, okay. Let's see. When was your first ride on an airplane? Okay, the first time I ever flew was when I was married the first time, and we went to Indiana to see his parents, and that was the first time I'd ever flown. And then since then I've flown right much. But not, I have flown several times there. John and I went to, of course, California, Hawaii, Miami, and where else did we go? But I have not flown since I had children. So I have not flown in, almost 14 years. Gosh, since I was pregnant. So definitely over 14 years. But we are planning on going somewhere soon. Next year we're going to maybe go to New York or something. Okay. Who was your first best friend, and do you still talk? My first best friend, if we go back really, really, really early, was a little girl named Laurie that lived behind us, and we moved when I was 6. But, I still see her at like the water park and stuff with her children, see her mom and everything, and yes, we do still talk when I see her. And then my next best friend was a girl named Tanya that we have just been friends all throughout our lives. We met when I was in 2nd grade, and we lived in the same neighborhood. And we're just those kind of friends that we each kind of were in different crowds, but we've always stayed friends. And we're still in touch, like with Facebook and stuff. Matter of fact, she lives just one neighborhood over. So I'm still in touch with them, but don't talk to them every day. Where was your first sleepover? I can't remember who that was as far as friends or anything, but we slept at my grandparents' all the time. I mean, just all the time, like one or the other. Usually we spent the night with my dad's parents at the beach in the summer and in the spring and everything, and then we spent the night over at my mom's parents all the time too. So who was the first person you talked to today? That would be John was the first person I talked to, and then the next person would have been Will, the cats, and then Will. No, Bridget, the cats, and then Will. And whose wedding were you in for the first time? I would probably have to say my best friend Mary that I met when I worked. I met her when I was probably about 19 or 20, and I think that was the first wedding I was in, was her wedding, I believe. Because I don't think I was in any weddings when I was younger. Okay, what was the first thing you did this morning? The first thing I did was take Bridget out, let the cats out, and go check my email. And, look at my phone. Just kind of, that's what I do. Fix a drink and kind of get the day started. Open the garage so everything just gets going. Let's see, what was the first concert you ever went to? I have never really been to like a concert, like traveled to go to a concert. We've had concerts here in town at the college during like the Azalea Festival. And I've been to concerts like in Myrtle Beach. And that's, and so I would say, as a child, I went to concerts there. The Azalea Festival always has, I can remember going to Hall & Oates and Tim McGraw, Alan Jackson, different things like that at the college. And I can't remember who, Edward McCain or something was one we went to in Myrtle Beach. I think I'm not a real big, one thing about me is I don't like big crowds. I just don't like feeling like I can't get out, or I don't like to be stepped on, hit. I just have never been one to just be in a big crowd. Even if I went to like a nightclub or something, I was always kind of on the edge. I've never been one to be in the middle of a lot of people. Probably because I don't drink. That's probably it. I'm the sober one there, getting stepped on and burnt and everything else I can remember. Okay, first concert. First broken bone was one of my, I think it's the only broken bone I've ever had, was one of my arms. I think it was my left arm. When I was little, you know, we were constantly outside playing, and I had those old school roller skates that you could just, you know, ride, you know, skate on the road. And I was skating and fell, and, you know, fell back on my arm and just fractured my arm and had to get a cast. And I think that was about 3rd grade, probably. First piercing, and my only piercings are my ears, and that was for my birthday, right before school started, 3rd grade. And my grandmother and my mom took me, and it was a jewelry store that was in Longleaf Mall, a mall that's not even there anymore. So I can remember that very clearly. And my first earrings were the little studs, and then the first ones that they ever bought me, my mom bought me, I think for my birthday, and I just had to wait to put them in, were little ladybugs, and I still have them. Okay, first foreign country that you've gone to. The only country I've ever gone to is Mexico, Cozumel, Mexico, on that cruise. Okay, first movie you remember seeing at the movie theater. We used to go to those ones that you used to get the little pass at school and go downtown, and they would be different, like Disney movies. I can remember going to those, and I can remember my parents taking me to, like, I remember going to, what is the Gizmo? What are those little, I have to put it down here so I don't have to think too hard. Those little things. And I remember going to see Jaws 3D when I was younger. But movies weren't really a big thing when I was little, until, I guess on Saturdays we like go to a matinee type movie. But, and then in junior high, you know, that was the big thing, is everybody went to a movie, and it would, like, you'd get your mom to take everybody, and she'd pick up like 3 or 4 people, and then somebody else's mom would pick you up at the movies and maybe go eat pizza or something like that. Okay, when was your first detention? I don't think I ever had one. I don't think I didn't get in trouble much. I was pretty shy. And I don't like to get in trouble, and I don't like to be fussed at, as you can probably tell. So I don't think I ever had a detention. Who was your first roommate? Was my friend Tanya, that I've been friends with throughout. No. My first roommate was a friend named Kim that I had met after high school, and that didn't work out, and Tanya moved in. And then I was roommates with her for a while. If you had one wish, what would it be? That's just too, I can't, off the top of my head, if I had one wish, it would be for mine and my family's health, and my children's health. Mine because I need to be their mom. John's because I need him, and my children. That is my #1 priority, is my children. Let's see. What is something you would learn if you had the chance? What is something I would learn if I had the chance? Oh gosh, there's so many things. Is that what that says? Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure there's something. I'd love to do hair. That would be, if I was younger, I would either go to maybe hair school or esthetician. That's 2 things I would love to do, but I feel like I'm just too old and too busy to do that. Years ago, right after Will was born, I wanted to learn how to sew, and my mother-in-law helped me. She bought me my first sewing machine, and I was just on fire after that. I just sewed I sold handbags forever. I made all of my window treatments, and I never did clothes. I like to do more like pillows and table runners, and lots of window treatments, and lots of handbags, and baby bags, and baby, like the little burp cloths with the fancy stuff at the ends, and I had a monogram machine and did all that kind of stuff. So that was something I wanted to learn to do, and I did it. And then doing YouTube was something I wanted to learn to do, and I did it. And I could pretty much do anything if I set my mind to, but I'm pretty content right now. Let's see. What were the first lessons you ever took? Probably ballet. I took ballet and dance, tap and dance, just like that normal little dance thing when I was little, and I wasn't that great, and it was okay. And then I took piano. My neighbor was a piano teacher, and she had graduated with a music degree, and she also taught at the college, and she was very serious. I remember my first piano teacher was my third grade teacher, and she had already been my dad's teacher too, so she was older. And I took from her first, and it was a little lighter and easier. And then when I started taking from my neighbor, it was more, we had recitals, and it was more serious. And I did that until about high school, and then I kind of flaked out of that. And this was Cupcake Cartel's, Cupcake Cartel. Where did I get that? The Daily Cupcake. Was that? I don't know. Anyway, who was the first person beauty related on YouTube you ever watched? The very first person was Panacea Lauren Luke, and that is how I even discovered YouTube. Was I had looked up Sarah Jessica Parker's makeup, and that's how I got here. And it was just fascinating to me because I had never been around anyone who loved makeup and girly stuff like I do, so that's why I love it so much. So that was neat. That was fun. So I'm going to do a quick outfit of the day, and I'll be right back. I believe it's an Old Navy t-shirt, and it's just one of my favorites. I had somebody ask me this morning my favorite t-shirts, and Old Navy and Gap both have good t-shirts. And then, matter of fact, I just ordered a few that I will kind of review. I haven't gotten them yet, but I like these kind of t-shirts, but I've kind of gotten more into the more boxy t-shirts, so that's why I've gotten some looser ones. But and then my belt is my good old broken in classic below the belt. And then my jeans are, I'm not sure, I've had them for a while. They're some of my favorite printed jeans, but I think they're Joe's. That's what it is. They're Joe's jeans, and they're some of my favorite. They just fit so good, and they come up a little bit higher, and perfect length. And my shoes that you guys have seen many times before. These are the Kate Spade Licorice, and I love them. They're very comfortable, and just I've worn them a lot already. And then I'm using my Balenciaga handbag today. My extensions in, and I didn't do anything. I just did my hair normal last night, and I don't have any in the sides, but I kind of like that because then the front can fall shorter, and then the back is a little bit longer. And I'll put a picture in the back or in the end of this video, but I love them. I still love them. My rings are Dean Davidson, the stack rings. I love these. My bracelets over here are I believe it's called it's Sheila Fajl. I have them on my website. The thin rounded cuff, and they come in all different colors, and they're just great to just put on and have something. They're light. They're made out of the same thing as the favorite earrings. These are Dean Davidson little studs, and then these bangles are my here's the mailman, are my Sheila Fajl bangles, and I love these. I just grab them and put them on, and like this one I thought went well with the dark, and it picks up the dark in the jeans too. And I guess that's it. Tomorrow is going to be just a fun haul because John, I'll tell you the whole thing, but we went shopping, school shopping, and my birthday's coming up, went birthday shopping. And so I will see you tomorrow with some good stuff, and I hope you have a good day, and see you then. Bye-bye.